Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new week. Welcome to a new lecture. This week, we're going to be talking about the selfish gene. So, the selfish gene is something that I keep coming back to. I was originally going to talk about optimal foraging strategy because we had seen that in the last week. However, in my attempts to both research it and present it to you, I found that I was continuously referring to the selfish gene, as was I when I referred to anything else in almost any other subject that we talked about in organismal ecology. So when we talk about organisms, we're talking about individuals. In particular, their species. And when we talk about a species, it's important to think about how that species got here. What selective pressures in nature helped it to change and evolve into its current forms? And how do those selective pressures affect it today? How was that organism designed? And then you start asking things like, why does it behave the way it behaves? And why does it do what it does? And all of these can really be understood better from a fresh and new perspective that is the selfish gene. For me, when I first heard about the selfish gene, it was eye-opening. I really started to look at nature in a different way. It has what's called a reductionist viewpoint. In reductionism, we like to boil down superstition and over-complex ideas into simple ideas. In this process, we quite frequently find truth. And I think that is what the selfish gene idea has done. The selfish gene theory or hypothesis, has been around for a long time in many different forms. Before we even coined the term gene, people talked about selfish information that was passed down from generation to generation. They just didn't know what to call it. Now we do. So, this selfish gene book here was published by a man named Richard. And I'm sorry about my handwriting. I write upside down for some reason. I basically hated my elementary school teacher. So, out of spite, I wrote upside down, and now I am forever cursed with terrible handwriting. Anyway, so Richard Dawkins published two very controversial books. You might have heard of The God Delusion. He also published The Selfish Gene Theory. Both of these books are reductionist viewpoints, especially the gene theory. I don't know if The God Delusion would be. But basically, what Richard Dawkins likes to do is dismiss superstition. And so, really, in The God Delusion, it's easy to see that. He obviously has a problem with religion. He is a famous atheist. That's not what we're really here to talk about. But when you look at the selfish gene theory, what it attempts to do is dismiss another type of superstition, and that is that nature is that there's some sort of mother nature, that nature itself is in a way an omnipresent, meaning omni means all present, all knowing thing. And so what Richard Dawkins tries to do is explain nature, explain the behaviors of animals and their design, and reduce it down to something called the selfish gene. In fact, the selfish gene, he actually has talked about before. He wanted to rename it as the immortal gene. Basically, you are a tool that helps to immortalize information that we call genes. So that's what this lecture is going to be about. And I really hope it doesn't make you feel not special. In fact, if you listen, you might find that it what it's really telling you is the opposite. You are a statistical anomaly. So we'll talk, and I hope you like it.